Okay, so here we have another Zelda timeline, but except this time this is not a theory video. In fact, this is anything but a theory video, because Nintendo has apparently released their official timeline in a booklet called Hyrule Historia sometime earlier. So and by the way, this picture isn't actually the official, timeline picture. Is actually something I made myself. Well, okay, the picture I made myself, but the placements themselves are, official. So I'm just gonna go through a little brief overview on what the timeline is. So yeah. Okay, so when it came to theorizing the placements of the Zelda games, some people were right to an extent, and some people were wrong. Like, for example, the people who said that Minish Cap was first were right, while the people that said that the Oracle games come before a Link to the Past and come after A Link to the Past, but before Link's Awakening were right. I was one of those people. So yeah, let's just get us over with and just be done with this. Okay, so Skyward Sword is first. We pretty much already knew that. Then came the Minish Cap. Not exactly sure why. I was one of those people that opposed that. The hat thing. I don't know. Maybe because the intro about how the hero of men guy got the sword from the sky. But there is a little something I want to complain about that. The sword, I don't think can't be the Master Sword because that sword was the Picoria blade, and it gets turned into the Four Sword. So the Master Sword, Four Sword, whatever. It's Nintendo, so So next comes Four Swords, which doesn't really matter. It could come after Minish Cap, but before Four Swords Adventures. Apparently, just chose for it to go after Minish Cap. So, anyways, next we have Ocarina of Time. Now we all know that Ocarina of Time made a split in the timeline, where it came two timelines, but here we have three splits. So what does that mean? Let's see here. Ocarina of Time created the adult timeline and the child timeline. So let's see. The child timeline is in the middle. One scenario of the adult timeline is on the left, and the other scenario is on the right. So we have essentially two adult timelines, but Okay, so one scenario of the adult ending, Link defeats Ganon, he gets sealed away, then Ganon comes back, crafts everything up, then the goddesses flood Hyrule, then comes Wind Waker. In the other scenario, Link seals away Ganon, but Ganon twists up the sacred realm and turns into the dark world and tries to get Aghanim to maintenance and Link to the Past. So that's two ways the adult timeline could have gone. And so of course there's the single child timeline. Link gets him back, warns Zelda and King of Hyrule, whatever, that Ganondorf was gonna try to take over. Then he goes to search for Navi and then goes Majora's Mask. So so let's just cover this. Okay, adult timeline scenario 1, Wind Waker happens, then Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. I covered that in another video. Okay, so adult timeline scenario 2, A Link to the Past. Link restores the Triforce. In the Oracle games, he comes back to check on the Triforce, as I stated before. It sends him to Holudrum and Librand, the place in Oracle of Ages, whatever. So then, and the linked endings then connects to Link's Awakening. So, and apparently after Link's Awakening, I was right. The NES games do go after the Game Boy games. So, I guess I get a little praise for that. No, I don't. Anyway, I know I won't. And the child timeline, we don't even need an explanation for that, So Twilight Princess takes place 100 years after Majora's Mask and Ocarina of Time. Ganon takes over because he never got a chance, because, young Link foiled his plans. So when Ganon tries to take over, he's dealt with the sages. And then after Twilight Princess comes Four Swords Adventures, which I'm not exactly sure about that myself. I'm not saying that there's something. I'm not saying that that's off, but you know, I don't know. It's a little weird to me that the Four Sword Saga would end in the child timeline, but in both scenarios of the adult timeline, it's plain just forgotten about, except for A Link to the Past, the Palace of the Four Sword thing. So, whatever. Well, yeah. So this is Nintendo's official timeline. You know, feel free to argue. Not exactly sure why you want to do that. I mean, well, this is official, so yeah, this is apparently it.